Tracker Phase 1. Your tracker is the most important tool that you will need to work on this project. The link for the tracker is sent to you in WhatsApp. You open the tracker, you need two very important tools, Google Drive and Google Sheets. So once you open the tracker, you will see at the bottom you have got these client sheets. The time when we are discussing with the candidate about what jobs we can offer them. One, the intro link. When you click on that and you open, it takes you to the WhatsApp of the candidate and you can send a pre-configured message to the candidate. Click on this create button. This is where you capture your conversation with the candidate. The first three details are already filled in. You don't need to make any changes there. And follow up with this candidate on the date when the next action needs to be taken. You just go to that follow up date and you will see all your actionable points for that particular date. Now, remember, if you want to see the new data, the new forms, you must keep the yellow boxes empty. To do that, you just click on the yellow box, then you click on this arrow at the bottom, click on the keyboard sign and delete whatever is written. Namaste friends, welcome to the training. Today's training topic is how to update the tracker phase 1. This tracker is the most important tool that you need to do this project effectively. Before you open the tracker, you need two very important tools, Google Drive and Google Sheets. You can download both of them from the Play Store. The link for the tracker is shared in your WhatsApp and through your registered email address. So once you open the tracker, you will see at the bottom you have got these client sheets. We'll talk about them in a different training. What we're going to cover today is F phase 1 sheet. This is phase 1, which is also known as the pre-onboarding phase. The time when we are discussing with the candidate about what jobs we can offer them. In this sheet, you'll see the first column is for the candidate's number. Then you have the candidate's WhatsApp number. Then in the next column, it's the candidate's name. And the next two columns after that are smart links. We'll talk about that in a moment. Moving on, you'll see there are some empty boxes. They'll get filled later on. And the form, remember the candidate's form that filled, rider form, all those details appear here. Okay, whether he has the bike, with the RC, driving license, all the details, work experience, shift required, language, and the month in which the candidate was referred. Now let's go back and look at the smart link. This first one, the intro link, when you click on that and you open, it takes you to the WhatsApp of the candidate and you can send a pre-configured message to the candidate which is configured of all the details that candidate had filled up in the form. Now based on these details, you will offer the job to the candidate, and whatever discussion you've had with this candidate, you will click on this create button and update that discussion in this new form. This is where you capture your conversation with the candidate. The first three details are already filled in. You don't need to make any changes there. Then comes the remarks section. Click on that and enter the date on which you are filling the remark. Next is the status section. In this, you fill up the status which matches the conversation, which is the closest match to this conversation you have had with this candidate if you're offering a job or you're just in a discussion. Now, whatever status you fill in here, you can later on filter your candidate's sheet using that status. So let me copy this number. I'll show you how to filter later on. Moving on, we have the remark section. In the remark section, I always put the date first and then enter whatever discussion I've had. This helps me understand what's going on with this candidate. If there is more than one conversation, then I can remember by going to the remark section. Next is the follow-up, whether I want to follow up with this person or not. So yes or no, simple. And then I put a date on which I want to follow up. If I do not want to follow up with this candidate, I will put the date as 1st of January 2022. And if I want to follow up, then I will simply select the date on which I want to follow up with this candidate. This is a very helpful tool. It gives me reminders. So guys, you can also use this follow-up date effectively. Now this is all that you need to do in this section of the form. When you are done, you can click on submit. You can go back to your tracker. You can close this window, go back to your tracker. Now in the tracker, you will see the candidate for which you just updated the comments. That entry for that candidate will disappear. It's gone now. This is happening because all the yellow boxes at the top, they are empty right now. And when these yellow boxes are empty, you only get to see the new forms, the forms that have just arrived or the forms for which you have not made any update. I'm going to put in the phone number of the candidate for which we just updated the record. Remember, I copied that number. I'm going to put that in the first yellow box. Now when I put that number, the data will change and only that candidate's details will be displayed. Now you can see here whatever details we recorded, whatever comments we had put in, all that has been filled in these empty boxes. Now this is how I can easily look at my data. I can easily look at my conversation and follow up with this candidate on the date when the next action needs to be taken. When I will have a lot of numbers, like when you're starting now and you'll also have a lot of numbers very soon, this is the only way you'll be able to manage this. When you don't want to look at a particular number, just remove everything from the yellow boxes. The second yellow box is for the follow up date. If you've chosen follow up dates, you want to follow up for a particular date, you want to get all the data, all the candidate details for a particular date, you just go to that follow up date and you will see all your actionable points for that particular date. Now remember, if you want to see the new data, the new forms, you must keep the yellow boxes empty. To do that, you just click on the yellow box, then you click on this arrow at the bottom, click on the keyboard sign and delete whatever is written. The last yellow box is for the status. All the status that you just saw, you can select any of that status and the data will get filtered. You will be able to see the candidates for that particular status which you select over here. So these are the three filters that have been set up in this find phase 1 FPH1 section of the tracker. I hope this helps you and you're able to easily manage your data, manage your candidate details and offer them the job and follow up with the candidates. Most important is that you're able to follow up with the candidate. Not every candidate will be getting the job in the first call itself. You will have to follow up with a few of them. When you're following up, you can then click on the update button instead of create, and the same form that you filled earlier will now appear with your remarks, with the remark date, status and everything that you had put in earlier. You can simply change the remark date, change the status if it has to be changed, update the remarks section, whatever new remark you want to enter here. Now the new date of the remark I will put on top of the previous remark. So if the earlier remark was 11th of November and now let's say it's 15th of November, so I'm going to put the 15th here and then update my remarks and then press enter, so the 11th November comes below the 15th November. This way I can have a chronological order of remarks. So when I'm following up, I know what has been happening with this candidate. I again choose yes or no for the follow-up, put a date. Remember I said 1st of January 2022 if I do not want to follow up. So I don't want to follow up with this candidate anymore. I'm choosing 1st of January 2022. This is it. I click on submit, form done. My tracker phase 1 is completed. So guys, this brings us to the end of the training. Thank you so much for watching this. Let me give you a recap of what we covered today. Your tracker is the most important tool that you will need to work on this project. The link for the tracker is sent to you in WhatsApp and an email. If you can't find it, check with me. The tracker has details from the rider form that was filled by the candidate in the first place. It also has the smart links that you can use to connect with your candidate through WhatsApp. Whatever conversation you have with the candidate, you can record that using the create button and filling up the form with details of the conversation. You can put the remarks, you can put a follow-up date. There are yellow boxes at the top of the tracker. These boxes allow you to filter your data using the candidate's phone number or the follow-up date or the status that you want to filter the data with. Remember to keep these yellow boxes empty if you want to see the new forms. When you're following up with the candidate, instead of the create button, now you will click on update to enter the details of the new conversation that you're having with the candidate. That's all for today, guys. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comment section or reach out to the person who shared this video with you. If you do not have any questions, you can move on to the next training. Wish you all the best with this project. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Namaste. If you also want to work with me, then click on the link in the description. This is a work from home job opportunity. There is no joining charge, no training cost. You don't have to download any app or software or anything. You can work from your home and make good amount of money by putting in 2 hours a day and get free training and support whenever you need it. Let's connect today.